Lower back pain can often feel like a constant burden, especially when it's on one side. But guess what? There's hope. With my AYAMA method, I've already helped thousands of people just like you overcome this pain through activation based techniques that address the root causes of the pain. I'm Yogi Aaron, and after 3 decades of experience, I'll guide you through practical strategies to reduce your discomfort and improve your mobility. So let's dive in and reclaim your life from back pain. So, what causes one sided lower back pain? Well, one sided pain is often the result of muscle imbalances, poor posture, or even tightness in the hip flexors or hamstrings. When the muscles around your spine aren't working properly, it can often lead to strain on one side of your lower back. A lot of research has shown that activation based exercises focusing on the muscles that stabilize the pelvis and spine can help realign your body and relieve pain. Common symptoms of one sided lower back pain can include a dull ache or sharp pain on one side of your lower back, pain that worsens with certain kinds of movement or positions. You have limited mobility when bending forward or twisting. Many common treatments of one sided lower back pain focus on masking the pain rather than addressing the underlying cause. Things like painkillers or temporary stretches may provide short term relief, but often fail to prevent the pain from returning. That's where AYAMA comes in. In my AYAMA method, I emphasize activating the muscles that support your spine, pelvis, and hips. This approach helps you to relieve strain, realign your body, and build long term strength so you can stop the cycle of pain and dependency on temporary fixes. In my experience, some myths need to be busted. So here, I've given you some facts after each myth so that you can be more aware. And as always, I'm here to help you. So let's clear up some misconceptions about lower back pain. Myth number one, rest is the only way to heal back pain. The facts: while rest is necessary, strengthening and activating your muscles is key to long-term recovery. Myth number two, stretching is the ultimate solution for lower back pain. Well, here's the fact: stretching can help, but it's activating the right muscles that will truly support your back and prevent future pain. Myth number three, pain relief means that you're healed. Here's a fact: pain relief is just a step, but the real healing comes from strengthening and activating your muscles and improving your posture. The AYAMA method isn't just about quick fixes. It's about creating lasting solutions by activating and strengthening the muscles that support your spine and pelvis. This allows you to regain control over your body and prevent the pain from returning. So let's take action and start feeling better together. We're going to focus on the muscles of the back, of course. We want to get those muscles working properly. One of my favorite poses is a pose called sometimes Superman pose or locust pose, where we come and lie down onto our stomach and just simply lift up our chest and lift our legs up as high as we can. Many people ask me, if you had to pick one pose a day, what would it be? It's actually going to be Superman pose or Superwoman if you feel like you want to go that way. So you pick. But the point is that this pose is just fantastic for starting to activate all the muscles of your back. I promise you that if you did this pose every day for 30 days, you will have a brand new back. The secret ingredient in muscle activation is 6 seconds, 6 times. So what I'd like you guys to do is come onto your stomachs, and for this variation, you're just going to bring your hands to your lower back because I want you to feel those lower back muscles. Now, the first thing is lift the legs up off the ground. Can you feel those back muscles already engaging? Now lift the chest up a little bit more and you're going to feel those back muscles engage a lot more. Come on down. In muscle activation, what we're looking to do is to dynamically shorten the muscles, get them to contract, and isometrically hold them for a short amount of time and repeat it a few times. What this does is it starts to improve that messaging system between the brain and the muscles so that when the muscles need to contract, the brain or the central nervous system knows there's muscles there. We're increasing proprioception between our nervous system and the muscles. It's kind of cool when you think about it. And it's just like, it just happens very quickly. So if you have any questions about your one-sided lower back pain, pause the video and drop them in the comment section below. One little note here. Number one, you're going to lift up as high as you can. Now, some of you probably can barely lift your legs up off the ground. That's okay. You'll get stronger. And it also doesn't really matter how much you can lift the legs up. Come on down if you haven't already. What I want you to do is just keep the hands there just for a short moment. Now, lift the legs up maybe like a quarter of an inch. Do you feel your back muscles engaging? That's all it takes. It just, that isometric engagement is going to do wonders in your lower back. So please don't worry about how high you can get. If you can't get up as high as me, that's perfectly okay. And then come on down. Another point I want to make is that if you are dealing with the back that has seized up, is gone into spasm, these exercises are actually really good, but but we also follow the first axiom in AYAMA, Applied Yoga Anatomy and Muscle Activation, that less is more. So if your back is having issues, just lift up a little bit. You can see, if you're looking at me right now, that my thighs are still on the floor. But I am lifting up enough that I can feel an engagement in my back. This will really help to improve those spasms, get them to go away. The spasms are a result of muscles not working properly. The trick is that if we can get the muscles to start doing their job, the spasming will disappear. Spasming is the body's way of protecting itself. The spasming is the tightening of the muscles. In reverse, if we get the muscles to start working properly, the spasming will start to go away. Will it happen overnight? Probably not. But will it happen over time? I have done this myself, and I can tell you that it's worked for me every single time. Let's do it a couple more times. You go to your own height, lift up the legs, and then lift up the chest. And we're going to hold for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and come on down. I also want to add that when I first started this was as much as I could lift my legs up. Over time, I was able to lift them up a lot higher. So come on up one more time, and breathing in and breathing out. And then come on down. One of the major, most important muscles that we want to get activated is the oblique muscles. So this little fun twisting sequence is a great way to get the oblique muscles working. I'm going to give you 3 variations, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do the 3rd variation. So you can decide which variation is good for you. Rewind the video if you need to go back. You choose your variation that works for you. So the first variation is to come onto all fours, and I like to have my hands a little bit further forward as opposed to where I think my shoulders are, and have the wrists underneath the shoulders. That can cause a lot of undue stress in the wrists. So maybe perhaps bring your hands just a little bit further forward. Now the first variation is to bring your hand, one hand, it doesn't matter which. I'm using my left hand on my neck. And then inhale, open up as wide as you can, and then exhale, come on down. Inhale, come on up, and open up and drive that elbow up towards the ceiling, and then exhale and come down, okay? The second variation is to come onto your elbows or your forearms and do a variation of the same thing. Inhale, come on up. So this is for people really that are experiencing wrist issues, okay? Now, the third option is my favorite option. But again, if you've got wrist issues, this can bother you. So what you're going to do is come into a side plank pose and lift up as high as you can. Now you want to get the side ribs up as high as you can. Now, if this is hurting your wrists, you can also do this on your forearm. So this is a really strong pose. Some of you may not be able to do this at home. Again, there's the option of doing this variation. Start where you can. Let's meet our body where it is. We don't have to try and create more stress. Always remember that we're trying to get rid of stress, not add more. So you choose which one you want to do. If you want to do it on your forearm, go and do that one. I'm going to do this on my hands. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come to the sides and lift up. And then we're going to exhale and bring the top hand down. Now try not to move your whole torso. Keep your torso in one plane and then drive that hand to in between the foot and the hand. And then inhale, come back up. Very nice. And then exhale. We'll do that 6 times. If you have any questions about your one-sided lower back pain, pause the video and drop them in the comment section below. It's perfect. And then exhale. This is actually getting not only into the lateral obliques, but the anterior obliques as well, which is really great. Exhale, come on down. Now you see that I've got my foot on top of the other foot. You don't have to do that. You can separate the feet if it gives you a sense of more balance. And then exhale. Inhale, open up. And exhale. And one more time. Inhale, open up. And exhale. Perfect. Let's do the other side now. I like to come into a down dog just to do something a little different. And then come into side plank on this side. Again, you can stack the feet or have them apart, whatever you wish. Open up, inhale, exhale, weave that hand down, inhale, come on up, and exhale. And you should feel your oblique muscles really engaging here. And exhale. Inhale, open up. 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 And last one, exhale. Beautiful. Let's come onto all fours. Before we do our final pose, which is Shalabhasana, the Superman pose that we're going to end with every day, one thing I wanted to add is that when I was traveling recently, I didn't have a lot of time to do many things every day. And so what I did was I usually took a few different muscle activations, and that was one of the ones that I did quite a bit. And it was really fascinating for me to experience the power of my obliques as I was activating them in that pose. It was a very, very, very strong pose. Even if you're just doing this and this variation, you are going to get a lot of activation in your oblique muscles. All right? So come on down. Let's end with Superman pose. Bring the hands down beside you. Lift up the legs and lift up the chest. And then come on down. and lift up again. And then come on down, and then lift up again. And then come on down, and lift up again. And then come on down, and then come on up. And then come on down, and then come on up. And then come on down. And one more time, lift up as high as you can. Lift it up. And then come on down. Causing back pain is because your glutes aren't working properly. Now, the strength of your glutes and how much you can leg press and how much you can do leg curls and all of that stuff is completely irrelevant to when we're talking about a muscle's ability to contract and contract properly. We want to improve that neuromuscular connection between the brain and the muscles so that they can work properly. What I have found as a muscle specialist and working with a lot of people, including a lot of bodybuilders, runners, and hikers, is that they have glutes that are not firing properly, meaning that they're not able to contract and contract on demand when the body needs them. Now, you might think, well, why are glutes so important? Well, glutes are like the shock absorbers of your car, the shocks of your car. If you ever drove down a dirt road on a vehicle that had great shocks, you can barely notice any of the bumps. But if you don't have shocks or shocks that are working properly, oh my God, it's one of the worst experiences you can ever have. And you literally feel it in your lower back. Well, that's what the glutes do. The glutes are like the shock absorbers of the body, and we need to get them working properly. Okay, so what we're going to be doing in this video is a simple hack in getting the glutes to start working properly. Okay, so one of my favorite poses to do that is a pose called bridge pose. So what I'd like you to do is to come onto your backs, and from here, bring your arms out to the sides or over your head, yogi's choice. Bring your feet a little bit more than hip distance apart, and then simply just lift the hips up as high as you can, coming into your best hip extension. Now, if you just kind of tap your glutes, you'll probably notice that they're already engaging. But what I'd like you to do is to actually squeeze them just a little bit more and then slowly come on down. Okay, remember that in muscle activation, we generally hold it for 6 seconds and repeat it 6 times. So we're going to come on up again, lift up as high as you can, squeeze your glutes, press down through the heels of your feet, lift up a little bit higher, and then slowly come on down. And lift up again. Very good. And squeeze your glutes. Now, see if you can actually press down through the heels of your feet and get a little bit more hip extension, meaning that the hips come a little bit higher and then come on down. This is one of those poses that you virtually is impossible to hurt yourself because you are in complete control and you're fighting against gravity. It's one of the best ways to actually get the glutes working and get them firing properly. Come on back up, lift up again. If you have any questions about your one-sided lower back pain, pause the video and drop them in the comment section below. And then come on up again. Lift up as high as you can. Squeeze the glutes a little bit more. Lift up a little bit higher. And then come on down. And we're going to do it one more time. Lift up again. Lift up the hips as high as you can. Lift up a little bit higher and a little bit higher. And then come on down. Beautiful. That was just awesome. Now we're going to roll over and do the pose that we've been doing every day. If you've been following this series, you know that every day I have you guys doing this pose, Superman pose, to get all the muscles of the back working properly. And so we do our muscle activation in Superman pose. So we're isometrically engaging the muscles by lifting our legs and lifting our chest up. You can again bring your hands to your lower back and feel those lower back muscles engage. Come on down and then come on up. Nice. Lift up a little bit higher and then come on down. And then come on up. And then come on down. And then come on up. Nice. You can even feel your glutes engage a little bit. So you're definitely getting a little bit of hip extension here. And then come on down. And then come on up. And then come on down. And then come on up. And then come on down. And then come on up. Very good. Lift up one more time. And then come on down. If you have any questions about your one-sided lower back pain, pause the video and drop them in the comment section below, because I'm here to help you and guide you on this journey to living your best pain-free life. Lower back pain doesn't have to control your life. With the AYAMA's activation-based strategies, you can address the pain at its root and move towards a pain-free life. So start your journey with us today. Explore my full AYAMA program in the description for lasting relief. Like, subscribe, and share your success stories in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're doing.